Hi there, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Summerfield, Florida, and thank you so much for joining me today. Now, if you're watching me live, as you come in, please say hello, let me know where you're coming from, what you've been up to. If you're watching the replay, I still want to hear from you too. So please leave a comment either on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel or my blog, whichever one you're watching from, and let me know where you're watching me from and tell me something fun you did over the weekend. We actually had my in-person Christmas card buffet on Saturday, and it was a lot of fun. Lots of card kits, lots of Christmas music and Christmas cards, and it was a blast. All the ladies seemed to really enjoy it, and since they loved it so much, I'm actually going to do another one here in a couple months in person. So I'll have all the details once I get the date squared away. I'll be sure to share that with you guys. But we had a lot of fun making cards, and everybody just really seemed to enjoy it. It was really relaxing and just social and a lot of fun. Another thing I want to remind you guys, it's almost September, so if you're a newsletter subscriber, I sent out my September host code and free gift details for September on Friday. Hi Sue, thanks for joining me. Hi Diana, I see you're here too, welcome. So I try to send out the following month's free gift details a little early when I can. But today and tomorrow you can still get my August free gift, which are these Cute Stars adhesive sequins. If you haven't already placed an order with me of $50 or more, and you can get your Sale-A-Bration freebies as well. Sale-A-Bration goes through September 30th is when Sale-A-Bration, that's the last day to get any Sale-A-Bration stuff. So ladies, thank you for joining me. I just wanted to mention that the card buffet was such a big hit. I'm going to do another one. I'm currently looking at possibly mid-November, but as soon as I get a date, I will be sure to share the complete details if anybody wants to sign up. I'm going to try to start doing them every like 3 or 4 months, and then I'm going to do bingo probably twice a year. My next bingo event is going to be in January. I haven't completely gotten the dates for that yet, but I'll be sure to share those details too. So I think that's about it for now. So just remember, only 2 more days to get the Cute Stars if you haven't yet. Place an order in my online store and use my host code. And in mid-September, I mail this to you, usually with a little thank you card and some candy. I've started including candy in my packages too. It was funny because I bought these like sour orange candies from TJ Maxx and put them in packages last month, and I didn't realize they were that sour, and I shared them at Stamp Camp, and everybody was like, oh, these are so sour. But I think it was when you bit into the center, that's when it was really sour. So it was kind of funny, but okay, so I have a really fun, awesome treat box to share with you guys today. Everybody at Stamp Camp loved it. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you, and we'll go ahead and get started with this one. I'm really excited to share this one with you. All right, let's flip the camera around here. So we are going to be making these little Tombstone treat boxes. They're so fun and easy. Let me move this a little bit so I can see. There we go. So these are super fun and easy to put together. I'm going to show you how to put them together. And I made this little sign that you can actually open up and put the to and from, so you can address it to your recipient, let them know who you gave it to. So this would be good if you do the you've been booed on somebody's doorstep. You could actually let them know who booed them so that they can continue the tradition and maybe send you something too. Or if you want to mail these or, you know, pass them out to a group of people, this would be great. So I'm going to show you how to complete that. And these are actually pretty substantial. Let me see if I can find, oh, here's an ink pad. So this will kind of give you a good idea of how big they are. They're a little bit taller and wider, a little bit wider than your ink pads. So it gives you a good idea. They're really big, and if you lift this open, you'll see I put a bunch of like Hershey Nuggets and these little mini candies, and there's actually 2 layers of these candies in here. So that's a dozen pieces of chocolate. So these are pretty, I mean, if you feel them, they're pretty heavy. It's pretty substantial. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna show you how to do this. It's super fun. So in your mini catalog, I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. On page 51 in your mini catalog is where you can find these up at the top. There are 8 boxes, and they come in a pack of 8 for $10, okay? They already have the adhesive on them, which is fantastic. I just love it. And then the bundle we're actually going to use today is on page 52, the next page here. This Frightfully Cute bundle. It has all these stamps and then the little dies. So that's all we're really using is that bundle and the treat boxes, and then some coordinating paper, okay? So really quick, easy project. This would be really cute. I'm probably going to make some of these for my son's teachers and hand them out. And I have a craft show coming up. I'm going to try to see if I can sell some. So in my little package here, I actually, so when they come all stacked up, top and bottom like this. Let me get my other package so I can show you. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right next to my feet. All right, so this is another package that has more of them. So when they're in the package, they're kind of stacked, a group facing down and a group facing up. So one side is the bottom and one side is the top. So try what I did with this one, since I was doing them for Stamp Camp. I actually wrote sticky notes on them and kept them together just to kind of help me keep track of them. But I think it's really smart that they do it that way, okay? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take my little sticky notes off and I'm gonna show you, we're gonna just put these together. And like I said, they have this adhesive on the top and the bottom here. So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna fold on all the little score lines, just like I think a lot of the girls in class said. It's just like, you know, UPS mailbox, like priority mailboxes, right? You have to fold and score on the score lines, and then we're gonna take the adhesive off here and then just tuck it in and adhere it. So you can use nails if you have them, your little take your pick tool. That spatula end is what I usually do. But I'm going to take the adhesive off of both ends. Okay. And you just press it in there. Okay. So like I said, the adhesive's right there. We're just going to fold it up and over and then press to make sure that adhesive is stuck on there. And there's one part, one half, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the other half here. I thought these were so cool. I don't know, I really love Halloween a lot anyway, and every year when Stampin' Up! Comes out with Halloween stuff, I get really excited. I always, especially with the treat boxes, like when they had those black coffin boxes a couple years ago, I thought those were really cool. But these, I think, are even cooler because they have the adhesive already on it. I think that was really smart of Stampin' Up! To put the adhesive on it and just make it so much easier for you. I love it. I might order a few more packages of these, actually. I love them so much. And then if I have extra, I can always pass them out to neighbors or family. More Stamp Camp gifts, who knows? But then you see, now once you have these both put together, one fits perfectly inside the other one, just like that. So easy and cute, right? Okay, so we're gonna put this aside and we're gonna get, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do the spider web first, and then we'll get to the little die cut stuff. So for the spider web, I use that black glimmer paper that's in the catalog. And let's see if I have, yeah. So I already have an adhesive sheet on the back here. If you've never used the adhesive sheets, basically they come in big sheets like this. They're 6 inches by 12 inches. And so for this, I have a piece of 6 by 6 black glimmer paper. So all you'd have to do is trim this down in half, and then you'll notice on these sheets here they have little score lines, and that helps you like peel the backing off. Like you can lift that off and peel it, and then you could stick it right on the back. And then what'll happen is once you die cut it, you're basically just making a big sticker, and when you die cut it, you peel this backing off and it's sticky. And that's really good for any kind of intricate dies that liquid glue would be too messy for. So we're gonna take this cobweb die that's from the Frightfully cute dies that go in that bundle, and we are gonna die cut it on this paper. I'm gonna bring in my Big Shot here because it has that magnetic plate that I love. So I still use my Big Shot. And I don't know if you can really see this here. Let's move it sideways. There we go. So I'm just taking my cobweb and sticking it on here. And like I said, I have an adhesive sheet over the whole back section there. So I'm just gonna put it on there and wind it through. And it's gonna be a little tough, but it'll go. And I'm gonna wind it front and back a couple of times just to make sure that it cuts through there. So let's see. So now it looks like it hasn't cut all the way through. So I'm gonna do it just a couple more times just to be safe. If I can get my die back on it, just fell off. There we go. Yep. And part of the reason it will look like it hasn't completely cut through is because of that adhesive sheet. So once you start peeling that off, you'll realize that the pieces actually are cut through. It'll just take a minute for us to get all the little cobweb pieces in the middle taken out. All right, so we can pop that out just like that. Okay. All right, so you can take the, geez, hitting everything. All right, you can take this spatula end here and kind of use it to lift up the backing, and hopefully that'll peel off some of those little pieces with it when you peel. So I'm actually able to get most of them to stick to the sheet. I'm going to try as much as I can because it becomes a sticky mess, and you don't want to be holding that stickiness too much because it won't stick to your box very well if you're holding that sticky part too much. And I actually was able to get most of them to just stay right there and peel right off, which is nice. So we just have a couple that are still in there that we'll just poke out. So that's the trick, is just trying to get as many of those to stay onto that backing as possible, and then you won't have as many to poke out. Looks like mostly just the small ones in here were the ones that stuck. So I'm going to poke it through, again trying not to touch that sticky too much so that it will still stick to our box. I can kind of get some of these with my picky part here. And this part can be a little messy because they'll probably stick to lots of your stuff, like your hands and your work surface, but just try to keep it in a centralized location so it's not all over your craft room. All right, let's see here. I got one little piece sticking in there. All right, so there we go. So we have our little cobweb. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and we're just gonna stick it up to this top section here and have it mostly covering the box itself. And since it has that sticky, like I said, it's just a big sticker. So we were able to just stick it right on there. And I'm gonna try to get some of this stuff off of my hand real quick and in the trash. There you go. So like I said, just slowly and carefully peel that backing off, and most of those pieces that you need to poke out will just come along with that backing. And that's the easiest way to get those pieces out, so you're not sitting there poking them out all night. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we'll do a little bit more decorating. So I cut these strips down from scrap of that cutest Halloween paper. I have a bunch of little scraps for making cards and things. So what I'm gonna do with that is I basically just, cause this is the same paper, it's just, I used different sides and kind of crossed it over, kind of like a mummy, how a mummy's wrapped, I guess is what it reminds me of, and just kind of messy and crisscross. Doesn't have to be anything perfect by any means. So we're just gonna do it just like that, and we'll put a little bit of seal. You could use liquid glue, whatever you're comfortable with. I use seal for just about everything. And when I line it up, I'm gonna line this corner up along where this corner is down here. That's where I'm gonna kind of line it and angle it. Okay, and then now we'll switch the paper to be that black and white side. Just like that. And then back to the polka dot side. And back to black and white candy side. All right. Oh, welcome, Roberta. I'm so glad you were able to join us live too. Hello. Oh, Diana, these boxes are really cool. We just flipped over them at Stamp Camp. It was so much fun. I can't wait for you to come back down and join us for Stamp Camp sometime soon. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make this little part that opens up with the to and the from on the inside, okay? So first what we're going to do is we're just going to die cut this label. And again, this die is also from that Frightfully Cute bundle that we're using. So I cut a piece that's 2 inches by 2.5, and that is the perfect size for this little label. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I cut a piece that's 2 by 2 3/4, and I scored it at 1/2 inch. And we're going to fold that piece over. And what'll happen is when we die cut, you're going to have a little piece that's going to hang off here so that you have a little bit of a lip that we can glue to our plain die cut. Now, one of the girls asked, well, couldn't you just take a piece of paper and fold it in half and die cut it and that would be the same? You could. However, if you did that, it would cut off this edge. Like, you wouldn't have that curve, you would just have like a flat edge. So you could do it that way, it would be a lot easier, but I really wanted to maintain the shape of the frame, so that's why I did it that way. But if you want to do it a little bit easier and just fold a piece of paper in half and die cut it, feel free to do that as well. Up to you. All right, let's see if I can show you guys here. All right, so this is just the plain die cut. We're just gonna die cut just the frame. Okay, that's the first piece. Roll that through here. Okay. All right. So as you can see, just the plain label, no problem. This piece now, like I said, we have it, it's flat, we're folding it back, we're putting the die on so it is extended just a little bit over this lip, and then we're gonna die cut off of the paper just a little bit so we have that fold, okay? Oh, welcome Diana from North Carolina. Thank you for joining us today. We are making Tombstone treat boxes from the July through December mini catalog. Super fun. Okay. So now with this one, now that we've die cut it, let me show you real quick. Let me put my die cutting machine away. But like I said, so you can see here, it die cut off of the side of the paper. That's what we wanted, right? Because now when we flip it over, we have this little flap. And what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this piece to the top of that flap to give it that finished look, because like I said before, if you were to just fold it over, it would cut off, like the side would be that flat edge, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted a more finished edge. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm cut a label and I folded a piece down and die cut over that fold so that I have that little flap, and that's how we create our opening. And we're going to stamp the to and from on the inside here, okay? All right. So now, and I highly recommend stamping before you put these together, because I actually did that first. I glued this together and then tried to stamp, but when you do that, the paper has a tendency to kind of like want to stand up on the side. So I would stamp before you glue, okay? Because I had a really hard time trying to hold the paper down and stamp once it was glued on. So we're gonna stamp first, learn from my mistake. Okay, and of course my black is in one of my kits, so I'm gonna use Stays On, because that's all I have back here right now. All my card kits are still made up from from the card buffet, and I forgot to grab it before I came back here. So I'm gonna use Stays On. And actually, yeah, I'll use Stays On. It's okay. All right. I love the way this stuff smells. It smells like almond extract, and that's like my favorite smell in the world. Every time I open this, I'm like, oh, I'm in heaven. It's so weird, but all right. So where this little lip is, so what I'm doing is where the finished edge is facing the outside, and you can kind of see that raised part on the inside, I'm stamping the to and the from. You want that little lip to be towards the left side, okay? To and from on the inside. All right. And then on this other part, so that's the inside, and then on the front, we're gonna do the spider, and it's kind of cute because it looks like the spider is coming from that web onto the frame. So we're gonna do the spider off to the side, and we're gonna do the You're So Sweet It's Scary on the inside. I thought that was the perfect sentiment for a treat box. I love 3D projects and treat boxes, so anytime I see something that's related to treats or sweets or anything like that, I always get really excited and jump around, because that's my favorite kind of thing to do. So, all right, so we did that. So now we're gonna do the spider. So this spider is really long. We're not gonna stamp this whole thing. It's gonna get cut off on the side, which means, here, I have a little scrap piece of paper. So I'm actually gonna put this on my scrap so that it doesn't stamp on my table, especially with Stays On. Don't want that. All right, and I'm just putting this spider guy up at the top, just like that. So he looks like he's kind of crawling onto the edge there. All right. Yeah, I love Stays On. I know you're not supposed to sniff your stamp pads, but I love almond extract. I love almond anything, really. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this piece. We're just lining it up so the shape matches with the bottom piece, and we're gonna add some glue to this little flap and stick it on. So I'm gonna get a little bit of liquid glue here. It's a little teensy bit of work, but I think it's worth it. I think it's really neat. So I think your recipients would love it too. They would just think it was so cool. My husband, I always laugh because he's always challenging me to do something different, and so he was impressed with this one. And anybody that's heard the stories, you know, if my husband's impressed with something, that's high praise. Very, very high praise. All right, so I'm trying to line it up as best I can for that glue set. That's another reason you want to use that liquid glue, so you can kind of smush it around. And then, ta-da, oh, a little bit too much glue, but that's okay. That's why you want to open it and make sure some glue didn't accidentally seep out, and you can kind of clean it up a little bit. But just like that, and that's how you have your little opening right there, okay? So now, the closure part are these little Velcro dots. You can get at a craft store. I think Walmart carries some of the big box stores, you know. So these are the 3/8 inch Velcro dots. They come separated, and what I do is I actually like to just put them on top of each other and connect need and use them that way. So that's the easiest way for me. So I'm just going to cut one of these little dots here. I got mine at Michael's, but like I said, you can get them really at any craft store. A lot of other stores like Walmart, maybe Target, I'm not sure, might have them in your area too. So these have, we have the Velcro stuck together. We're gonna peel one side off so that the sticky is exposed. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick it in this little side circle right here. We're gonna push it in and get it really nice and stuck on there. And then we're gonna pull the other plastic piece off so that you want to keep them stuck together. You might have to use your nail to hold it down like I did. There you go. And then now the sticky part at the top is exposed, and you know it's lined up if you just keep them stuck together like that. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to stick it closed just like that. And now your recipient can open it from the side just like that. And they're not so strong that it's gonna like tear your paper or anything, which is what I was concerned about at first, but it really won't. They just kind of use this little edge and pull it up, and it won't tear or anything. So very cute. Okay, so where did my box go? Here we go. So now we're gonna take some dimensionals and pop that up. And you really need, what did I do? Did I do double dimensionals? Yeah, I did double dimensionals on mine, because when you go to open it, because you have that little lip, you need a little bit of room for that lip to move so it doesn't smack down on your Tombstone box here. So we're gonna do double dimensionals just to be safe. You could probably do single and it'll be fine, but I'm gonna do double just to make sure that I have plenty of height for that to open. Make sure that's gonna be, I might put some on the top and bottom too, just to be sure that it's not gonna buckle or bow or anything. You wanna have a flat surface there. So let's see. Oh, Mary Ellen, Ryan, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this. If you missed anything, you can go back and watch the replay later. This is a fun treat box that we made at my stamp camp classes this month. All right, so that seems to be good. So we're gonna take the backing off of these and stick it on there. And then the only other thing we have to do before we decorate is, and we're just gonna kind of center that. We're gonna put a little bow using this gingham ribbon from the July through December catalog that also coordinates in that Halloween section. All those products there are so cute. So I'm not doing a very big bow, just kind of small, just a bow like you tie your shoes, right? And then we're gonna cut the ends. Put my scissors up. Just kind of angle them like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take a little glue dot here. This cool glue dot dispenser. It's like a tape dispenser. I love it. You can get one at Michael's. That's where I got mine. Other craft stores, Amazon might have one, but I use it all the time, and it fits those the glue dots that Stampin' Up! Sells. So, and then I just put it where that little Velcro section is on the side here. I just put it off to the side just like that, and then I'll kind of give them something to grab onto too. I go and push down on that bow knot and open it up like that. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes, they are great for grandkids, Mary Ellen. You are correct. All right, so let's fill this baby up. So I've got everybody's favorite Hershey Nuggets. I'm just gonna grab a bunch. Then I got a big bag of these minis. This is like a party size bag of the minis. So we're gonna get a bunch of candy. And what I did to fill them up, we're gonna take these, I'm gonna take that box off like that. So I actually kind of alternated them and they fit perfectly. I think Sue, are you still there? She said she put cow tails in hers for her kids. And that's a great idea too. She said she got some at her local Cracker Barrel and they fit perfectly. All right, so these are a snug fit, but they will fit in here. Oh, did I put them, how did I do it in my other box here? I did it like that and that. Oh, I put it in sideways here. That's what it is. There we go. Just like that. Yeah, and that fits, and then you can get a whole another layer in here of candy. And Snickers are my husband's favorite. Every time we go trick-or-treating, he tells my son, if anybody asks you to pick out your own candy, get Snickers bars. We had a neighborhood when we lived in Maryland. We had these neighbors down the street from us that would buy like a big box from like Sam's Club or Costco of full-size candy bars, and they would let the kids pick out whatever they wanted. So yeah, 2 layers of candy, and then by the time you put the top on and you kind of smush it, they'll all sink down in there like they need to be. But that's it. Isn't that adorable? I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Oh no, we forgot those little stars. We're not done. Oh my goodness, how could I forget those? Crazy. All right, so a little orange star up here. I don't know how I could forget my embellishments. I must be off my rocker today. A little purplish one, and then we're gonna do the bigger orange one down here. There. Now we're done. You have to have the final flourish on your projects, right? Okay, guys. Well, I hope that you love this so much and that you go make a ton of them, pass them out to your grandkids, your neighbors, you know, teachers. Teachers always need chocolate, I feel. I would, if I was a teacher, I would always want chocolate. You know, your dentist, your doctor, anybody could really use a treat anytime, and these are just perfect for this time of the year. So again, if you need any of the supplies from today's project, I hope that you'll purchase them in my online store. Don't forget to use my host code and you'll get my free gift if your order is over $50. And also, since it's Sale-A-Bration, if your order's over $50 before shipping and tax, you will get my monthly free gift, which are these cute stars. Okay? All right, guys, well, I will come up with another fun thing to make next Monday, so I hope you can join me. Again, let me know what you think of this project. I love hearing from you guys, and stay safe, and until next time, bye. Happy stamping.